Gio, you got anything you want to start with?
I feel like you have an important question to ask Nick, so I'll let you, ask that question first.
All right, I was just making sure you didn't have anything that you would forget if I started. But so for those of you who don't know, the Heat got in a little scuffle last night on the sidelines. Uh, Udonis Haslem, Jimmy Butler, and Eric Spoelstra got heated. Apparently, Jimmy Butler said that Udonis Haslem said that he wouldn't be able to hang in his era if he was playing the way that he has been recently. And he said that the only reason that Haslam and Spo are relevant is because of D Wade. So that's interesting. And I mean, as a Heat fan, Nick, does this concern you at all?
Um, it does. It is concerning in the fact that the chemistry is not there right now. They lost to the Warriors, which should have been an easy win without Clay, Draymond,
And Steph.
Curry.
And you lost to the Sixers the day before without Embiid and Harden.
Yeah, it's looking bad right there. The teammate chemistry is not looking good right now. But at the same time, I feel like it also could be beneficial if they can work through it and then become closer as a unit.
Yeah.
And I also just like how it's the emotions are there. Everyone on that team wants the team to go far. But with the passion, there's going to be arguments.
Yeah, I wouldn't look too far into it. I think they're just getting ready for the playoffs, getting the right energy and stuff.
They're getting that intensity going,
Yeah, I mean, the playoffs are 2 weeks away, so they got to get ready.
Yep.
But, Gio, you got anything you want to add?
Man, I love what I'm seeing from that team. It's not the fact that in a different team, right? Other than the Heat, you should be concerned, right?
Yeah.
About the team chemistry and about what's going on inside of the locker room. But with that team, you got to be afraid for their playing. If they act like this, they're ready to play. They're ready to go ahead and win and try to, go to a championship. So it's going to be exciting to see what they can do Saturday because they do play, I believe, the Brooklyn Nets. And so it's going to be fun to watch that game.
Speaking of the Nets, Kyrie can now play home games.
Finally.
So that changes the playoff picture right there. And it's kind of scary if even Nick is getting a little nervous over there.
I'd rather not play them at all, especially with Kyrie being able to play again at home. They're the last team I want to see in that first round.
Well, I don't think you're going to see him in the first round. It's just a matter if you see him later in the playoffs.
I'd rather not. I want the Sixers personally in the second round if they make it there. Because Harden and Embiid, the big stipulation is they can't get it done. So I'll take that. And then I also like Miami's pieces for those two. Throw Jimmy on Harden, throw Bam on Embiid, and I think that's just fine. Where they can make out 4 games.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Stanley Johnson pretty much clamped up Harden by himself last night. So if Stanley Johnson can do that, Jimmy Butler's not going to let him score.
Exactly.
But, Gio, you got anything you want to say?
Yeah. So speaking about how you said that they probably won't play in the first round, there's a high probability that they can play in the first round.
Well, I just say that because I don't see them losing to the Raptors in the play-in game.
That's what I'm talking about.
They have to play the Raptors in the play-in game, don't they? They're the 8 seed right now.
That's correct.
And I don't see them losing to the Raptors, which would make them the 7th seed if they beat the Raptors in one game.
That's also correct. And it's going to be a high probability because the 76ers are only 1.5 games behind the Miami Heat. And at this streak where Miami's losing to these types of teams in this fashion, obviously they can turn it up, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is only a 1.5 game difference between the 1st seed and the 2nd seed and the 3rd seed and the 4th seed, right? So you can actually drop. Like you said, they might not play the first round, but if they go to the 2nd seed, then that's going to be a hard first round where they can potentially lose it, or it's going to be a hard second round where if they fall even further.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't realize there was that much tightness in the East.
And at the same time, the Nets had a shot, even with Kyrie playing away games, because they were the 7 or 8 seed. They're not going to have home game advantage anyways. So there's going to be 4 away games where Kyrie could have played. Now he's able to play 3 more extra games. So this could honestly be like the lowest seed we see, I believe, ever reached the finals.
Yeah,
As 17 possibly win the finals.
I could definitely see that if they stay healthy, because we were saying the same thing about the Lakers last year, and it was looking good until Anthony Davis went down.
Anthony Davis went down. LeBron's not fully healthy. Team was in disarray. So
Yeah, I mean, it's scary because Kyrie's been on a tear lately. I think he's averaging like 45 the last couple of games.
exactly.
So it's not going to be easy for anyone who plays that team. Especially if they can get Joe Harris back too. That'd be scary.
Gio, what do
It
you
will
think
be
about
scary, but I'll go right ahead. Go right ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish what you were gonna. I was gonna change the topic.
I just wanted to say that it would be scary with Joe Harris, but I don't believe that he will be coming back the rest of the season.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But if they did, it'd be an added tier.
Oh, and one more thing, since you brought that up, Ben Simmons. Although I did make a joke last episode and saying that he was nothing, I didn't understand the severity of his injury,
Yeah,
his herniated disc, and I really just thought he wanted to sit out and deal with his like mental, situation
Mhm.
instead of being with his team where I feel like he would have had mental, like it'd be easier for him to be part of the team and deal with his mental thing with the team. But anyways, I just wanted to say that I didn't know the severity of his injury before I made those comments.
All right, Nick, go ahead.
Gio, what do you think about your Cavs potentially sliding down?
I would like to say we did have a solid year. We had a solid year. We've gotten to see players grow individually. We have a great young talent in Evan Mobley. I personally do not see us going deep into the playoffs, unfortunately, without Jared Allen. I feel
He
like
out for the
Jared
year?
Allen. I'm sorry.
Is he out for the year?
He has a fractured hand.
Oh, then yeah, that's gonna be tough.
What is that? 3 months?
Yeah, I think he's out for the year.
Yeah, right. So even if he's back and he's like 50, 75%, it's not going to be the same. We need him at 100%. And if we did have him, I believe we could have gone, deep into the playoffs, and maybe we would have gotten lucky at some points, and we could have gone to the finals. And like you never know what could happen then. So, but unfortunately, he's out, and he was a huge anchor to that team.
Yeah, y'all might fall to the play-in and lose to the Nets first playing game. But that'd be tough. But either way, no one expected the Cavs to do what they did this year, so it was a good year overall.
Right. It was
Very good.
fantastic to see, like I said, the growth of these players and all of that, and it's great future heading forward.
And you didn't even have Colin Sexton for most of the year, so
We didn't have Colin Sexton, but we got to see what Darius Garland can bring to the table. We picked up Karis LeVert. Hopefully, I believe he's only signed to the rest of the year. Hopefully, we re-sign him. So,
yeah, I mean the future is bright for sure.
what are your
Yeah.
thoughts, Nick?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, y'all heard that too or not?
Yeah.
That was loud, bro. I'd rather see Toronto be that 7th seed
Mhm.
right now, like stay there, because I think the Nets have an easier shot at beating them than the Cavaliers right now.
Mhm.
In a 1-game series, I would rather have them play the Raptors, but it's very likely that they could slide because the Raptors have been kind of eaten recently.
Yeah, they've been playing
I know they
great.
just lost. Yeah, they've been doing really well as of late. So I'm hoping they stay there instead of sliding out. But we'll see what happens. Either way, I'm confident Miami to the finals.
The East is very tight. I didn't realize how tight it was.
Right. And speaking on that point, say, like Nick said, you want to play the Raptors if you're the Nets. You could lose to the Cavaliers. If you lose to the Cavaliers, I'm looking at the Hornets or the Hawks, who can be very shocking to some people, thinking what LaMelo Ball can do with Miles Bridges and those guys, that crew over there. You got Trae Young, who can go for 56 any given night. So those are two scary teams that you can potentially lose one game and you're out of the playoffs. So
Yeah, I mean, even with Kyrie and KD last night, they still lost to the Grizzlies, which the Grizzlies are good. They're a great team. They've been playing good, but you would expect the Nets to win that.
Especially with Ja not playing too.
Yeah.
So here's the thing for me. The Memphis Grizzlies are a team. The Brooklyn Nets are two players
That's true.
in that regard, where they all pass the ball. They all play to each other and to their strengths. And that's what makes them win. That's why they're so good without Ja Morant. Because
And
it's
they're very
not
deep. They're just a
exactly
deep,
very
they're
deep.
just deep team.
And they play to each other's strengths. Where if you have the Nets, KD's playing by himself, that's it. Kyrie's playing by himself, that's it. So they're both playing together. You only have those two, where the Memphis Grizzlies has 5 to 8 people where they can build around and play to each other.
Yeah, and the reason the Nets lost was because KD only had 2 points in the fourth quarter. That just proves you take one of them out and you have a good chance at winning.
Exactly.
That's the way I look at it. But March Madness does come back today. I was wondering if you guys have any predictions on who is going to win. Actually, a game just started, Arkansas and Gonzaga.
I will let Nick go first because I'm curious on his answers, and then I will share my thoughts.
All right.
On Gonzaga, you said, right?
On just every game, do you have any predictions, any upsets?
Predictions. All right. Gonzaga is a very good team, but I think they lose.
Okay.
Sorry, let me pull up the tournament right now. I didn't watch it all yesterday, so I'm a little back.
Oh, no, it just started back up today.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Do they lose to Arkansas or Duke in the West?
They do not lose to Arkansas. I think they beat Arkansas, but they lose to Texas Tech.
They lose to Texas
You have
Tech.
Texas Tech beating Duke, okay, tonight. All right.
I think Duke is a very – I'm surprised Duke got this far, personally. I thought they were going to lose last round. That's what I put in my bracket.
I have them going to the Elite Eight and then losing to Gonzaga.
That's valid. That's valid. I think Arizona's going to win the whole tournament, personally.
I have Gonzaga personally, but either one you could see.
You think that they're – what do you think about this game, I believe, tonight with Houston? Like, what do you think it's going to be a close game? You guys think it's going to be a blowout? Because I personally think Houston is solid enough where they can potentially have an upset.
I think they're solid enough to upset them. I can definitely see that happening, and they're going to make it a defensive game, which isn't Arizona's type of play, in my opinion. But I still see Arizona coming out on top in a close one like they did last round.
And then you have to – you could say?
Yeah, he just had to step away for a bit.
Yeah, he had some technical difficulties. So what do you think? I personally believe you have to go through Houston, and then you have to I'm thinking the way Michigan's been playing, they're a solid team. And the way Villanova beat Ohio State, I really believe Ohio State was more of like a methodical team. They were more slow paced, where Michigan's like attack. I think Villanova's going to have a hard time with Michigan, and I personally believe Michigan could pull up this upset, and then it's going to be a hard, like I said, Arizona has to play Houston first, and then possibly Michigan or Villanova.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like they're going to be tired. I don't think they can possibly go through 2 tough games in a row like this.
I personally have them losing in the Final Four to Kansas. That's my prediction.
And then, right, if they do end up going through Houston, going through Villanova or Michigan, right, you got to go
Mhm.
through Kansas, where I believe, Kansas, should win their, their conference.
Yeah,
What, yeah,
or bracket. Yeah,
yeah. What is it? The Midwest?
I think so. Yeah,
They
something
should
like
win their
that.
region.
Yeah,
It's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough to beat those three teams, possibly, or one of those, three teams. Obviously. But Kansas side, you got Kansas coming out. I really believe that Miami is a solid team. If they keep shooting the way they're shooting, no one can stop them, really. And obviously Kansas is Kansas, but if Miami's finds a way to shoot past their defense and get through them, there's no place where they can't go.
yeah. So you think Villanova wins tonight, or you think Michigan pulls off the upset?
I am. It's very tough for me, but I really do believe that Michigan will pull up the upset. Just the way Villanova played last game.
Yeah,
If
personally,
they
I feel like
played differently, then I feel my answer would change. But the way they played last game, I feel like Michigan can really like pound them early and then create a lead for themselves.
yeah, I just feel like Villanova is so well coached. I don't see them losing to Michigan, but that's just me. It can happen. Anything can happen. It's March, and I could definitely see them losing to Michigan with the way Michigan's been playing lately.
And I just want to say Howard's no scrub. He's a great coach as well. So
Yeah, for me, I think Gonzaga's going to win tonight. I think Villanova wins, and I think Duke wins a close one, and then Arizona wins as well. But I could see either of those teams losing. Like Michigan's been playing like the team we expected them to be lately, like Gio said.
right. And who do you guys have coming out of the East? Is our last region.
Jake, would you like to go first? Would you like me to go first?
You could go first.
All right. Well, I have Purdue.
You have them going how far?
Purdue's about to win tonight at least, or
Yeah,
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah.
St. Peter's had a great run, a very nice Cinderella story, but I think it's maxed out its potential. I have North Carolina beating UCLA as well.
I also have that. And I
I
have
have
them
that
beating
also.
Baylor too.
Hey, there you go. I don't know if they'll beat Baylor, but
They already did.
oh yeah, big buggy.
Yeah.
No, Baylor was so fake. I don't think Baylor was actually good this year though.
No, I knew Baylor wasn't that good. I was like, dude, North Carolina could definitely beat them.
Baylor
No.
to me, we were talking about. Oh, go ahead. So Baylor to me, right? Me and Jake were talking about this. How early in the season they lost, I believe, to Texas A&M, and they were beaten by physical teams. And I believe with Baycott and those other kids, Davis obviously shooting the way he was shooting, they've really changed my mind. UNC did. And obviously Baylor showed what we thought all along, where if they get beat physically, they're not going to win a game. But UNC though, the way they're playing, if Baycott can play physical, Davis can shoot, pass the ball like he has been, there's no place where they can't go as well. For Purdue though, their bigs are unstoppable, so we'll see what happens. You never know what St. Peter's can do. Like honestly, beating Murray State, beating Kentucky are two great teams. Two great schools coaching wise, obviously, and then you never know what St. Peter's can bring to the table. But yeah, right now changing my mind. I had Purdue going to the Final Four.
Mhm.
If UNC plays the way they did against Baylor, where they can be physical and obviously Davis can shoot the way he did, because he had in the last 3 games he only made 3 threes.
Yeah.
I believe he made 4 threes that one game.
Mm-hmm.
So if he can start, hitting shots, you never know where UNC can go.
Yeah, I agree. I think I got UNC beating UCLA as well, and then I have Purdue winning. But I don't see Purdue going to the Final Four. I think they'll lose in the Elite Eight personally, but I could see them going to the Final Four because this team is their best in a while since 2015 with Carson Edwards, I'd say, or whenever Edwards was there. And I got Kansas also beating Providence, but Providence could definitely put up a fight. I could see an upset happening there with the way they've been playing lately. And Iowa State and Miami is a toss-up. That's a tough one as they've both been playing great lately. I did not expect Iowa State to make it this far, like at all. I expected them to lose to LSU in the first round, but they've both been playing great. But I feel like Miami's the better team, so I'm going to roll with Miami.
I believe the U will win. As hurt as that makes me for them beating Syracuse, it could have been a nice win for SU. They were winning and they blew the lead. But right now, I think Miami University is just a better basketball team. They've been hot recently. I see them winning this game and then losing.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see them going farther.
But even if they do, when they win this game, yeah, I still win. It'll still be very impressive for their school because no doubt they got a lot farther than I think most people thought.
I would expect most people thought they were losing in the first round of USC. I mean, I did.
Yeah, legit.
But Gio, you got anything you want to say?
I just want to say they're playing like Virginia Tech was playing in the ACC tourney. They can't miss a shot. They're playing smoothly with each other. They're in a groove. You know, when a team like that does the things they're doing right now, like Virginia Tech did in the ACC tourney, it only can go so far. But at the same time, you never know when their streak's going to end. So
that's the thing. It's 50-50. Because Virginia Tech proved that in the first round. They got cold and they lost.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying you never know when their streak's going to end.
Yeah.
Like, everyone expected them to at least win the first round because of their streak and how they were playing. Mm-hmm. But that's what Miami's doing right now in the actual NCAA tournament, where they're on a streak of their own. They can't be stopped, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, this has definitely been one of the best tournaments in a while, in my opinion. A lot of upsets. I'm just happy to see another 15 seed going on a Cinderella story. I kind of hope they beat Purdue, but I don't see it happening.
I'm hoping. I think that would be another change.
But I just don't see because their center's like 7'2". They have no size to stop that. And then they have another center who comes off the bench who's like 6'10" and like 200 pounds. So I just don't think they have enough size to stop. They're physical enough, but I don't think they have enough size. Personally.
It's no doubt great to see a couple double-digit seeded teams go to the Sweet 16. I believe there's 4, possibly 5 double-digit teams, and it's great to see, you know, that anything can happen where it's not chalk, and you can see these double-digit teams that were supposed to lose in the first round go to the Sweet 16 and possibly go to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a great tournament, like I said. But
have you guys? Sorry.
Go ahead. I was just gonna ask if you guys have anything else.
I don't have anything else on the March Madness tournament.
No, I was saying in general.
I was gonna ask about a different college tournament. Have you guys been watching it at all?
No, not really. I've been just watching March Madness. No.
Are
you talking about the NIT?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. You know, Texas A&M was fun to watch, and Wake Forest. You also got St. Bonaventure's, you know, in there.
First of all, Texas A&M should have made the real tournament. I still don't understand how they didn't.
St. Bonaventure should have too, you know.
Honestly, Wake Forest had bad losses, so I'm fine with that. But Texas A&M had so many good wins. It's crazy that they didn't make the tournament to me.
So with the NIT tournament, we're in the Final Four right now. Games
going to NYC.
Yep, going to Madison Square Garden next Tuesday. St. Bonaventure will play Xavier. and then when they win, they'll go on Thursday to play either Washington State, Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M, and I have St. Bonaventure winning the NIT championship.
Just for all of you who don't know, Nick's a little biased. He goes to St. Bonaventure.
But at the same time, they can do that. And at the same time, they were ranked highly in the early part of the season. I don't believe they won they didn't win their
conference tournament,
right? No. So that's the only bad thing about their squad. And they did lose a couple games where they shouldn't have lost. So obviously it will show favor in the fact that they're the team that we thought they could have been if they do win this tournament.
Yeah. Compared to last year, though, they were a great team. Like, they brought back all their starters. They were supposed to be so good this year, but all of the starting five, they started playing lazier this season. They stopped playing team basketball with more individual stats, and that just ruined everything. They could have been so good this year.
That's tough.
Thanks.
But I believe that's what we're seeing now is that they are coming together and they're winning games.
Yeah, but at this point, it's too little too late.
Well, if you win the NIT, right, NIT championship, you beat Texas A&M, you're going to beat Xavier in two solid schools, right, that are usually in the NCAA tournament, that do have to go against crazy, competition, beating Baylor, beating all these teams, beating Big East teams. So the caliber of competition's there, and it's just to build off of it for the future.
Well, look out for Kareem next year. Koulibaly.
Gio, you got anything else you want to touch on, like in any sport?
I did want the reaction of Nick Saya from the NFL, where Tyreek Hill got traded for, I believe, 5 picks. I believe 1 first round, 2022 first rounder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. It was our first round pick, a second round pick this year, 2 fourths and a 5th, I think, next year, something like that.
Right.
I just pulled it up.
The odds of that team adding Tyreek Hill increases their playoff hopes, increases their Super Bowl hopes, and you're now going to see what Tua Tagovailoa is able to do with a great receiving squad.
I mean, people are like ripping on him because he can't throw deep, but you don't need to throw deep in this league. Speed kills. Just get him the ball and he'll go. Like,
that's the thing. The best plays Tyreek has done is a 10-yard pass where he just runs and outruns the defender.
The slant route on the Bills is a perfect example. He literally took that 5-yard slant route and said bye.
Sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
I do want to hear the Miami Dolphins fan, though, and what he has to say about this.
Cheetah. I'm very happy he's on the team, but I also don't think he'll have the same production he had in Kansas City. I think he'll still be like a playmaker, but his versatility play-wise with Mahomes, he could still run deep routes. Mahomes is just going to launch it deep. So Tyreek had like that deceivingness. I don't know if that's a real word, where he could like deceive the defender that you have to guard him deep since his quarterback can get him the ball. With Tua, I feel like they're going to play more press and like up close. But another thing I really like about Cheetah in Miami, you guys talking about Tyreek Hill and Tua, there's one also speedy dude in Miami. Y'all forgot to mention. Jalen
Penguin.
Didn't forget to mention him, bro. We're talking about Tyreek Hill adding to that amazing squad they got over there in the receiving corps. So
it's just going to open up the whole team.
Exactly.
And you got like 4 running backs.
Yep. And people forgetting about Mike Gesicki too.
And you got Cedric Wilson too. I mean,
Cedric
he's a
Wilson.
decent receiver coming from a Cowboys fan.
Devontae Parker's still there as of right now.
Isn't he a free agent though?
Nah, he's in Miami right now. I think his contract's coming up soon, but people are also trying to trade for him right now.
If he stays healthy and you don't trade him, that's dangerous.
Very nice receiving core.
Yeah.
And the O-line's better now, giving Tua more time, hopefully.
hmm
It could be very fun for a Dolphins fan.
If you guys aren't good next year, that's kind of sad.
Here's the thing too. Coaching, obviously, Brian Flores, he's gone. You never know if the coaching will play to Tua's playing style or Tyreek. But at the same time, as a Dolphins fan, would you want to trade Tua right now because of the past, considerations of wanting to trade Tua? Would you want Jimmy G or would you like Baker Mayfield instead?
No.
I was about to say.
No.
I'll take Tua.
Would you rather? Why wouldn't you have Jimmy Garoppolo if you can trade for a Jimmy G?
I saw Jimmy G in San Fran with the old head offensive coordinator. It was cool for the time being, but there's a reason they drafted Trey Lance, and they want to trade Jimmy Garoppolo. I'd rather stick out with Tua, see what he can really be before moving on. And then because the way I see it, if you look at Josh Allen, this is like my favorite example because I am around a lot of Bills fans all the time. His rookie year and his sophomore year were very mediocre to poor. Mm-hmm. But his third year, Stephon Diggs comes in, and then he pops out to be like an MVP candidate type stuff.
Very true.
So you give Tua another extremely good wide receiver. Potentially, he can also max out like that. And I like the coaching from this. I keep forgetting the dude's name. It's not the season yet, so I got time.
I think it's Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, McDaniel from San Fran. What he did with Debo, I'm super excited for that.
I think he's gonna implement that with Tyreek. That's what I think.
I was excited for him to do that with Waddle, and now we have Tyreek as well. I'm excited for what he has in store for Tyreek Hill.
Like, dude, imagine those two on jet sweeps, bro. That's nasty.
Yep. It's gonna be very exciting for me.
But yeah, I would agree. I'm not a Dolphins fan, but I would rather stick with Tua. Jimmy Garoppolo's up there in age one, and he's making a lot of money, and that's more cap hit and less cap space to do anything else. And then Baker's not bad, but I'd rather see Tua what he can become when he develops, like Saya said.
And the same thing also with this move happening, it transfers the power where Kansas City had all the power, right? They had Tyreek, they had Travis, then they just signed Juju. Their offensive weapons, and they also have Clyde Allaire, which their offense was already stacked, right? Adding one more weapon, which means I believe their offense couldn't be stopped at that point. So with this move, the power in the AFC evens out. And it's literally anybody's game because you never know what the Dolphins can do. You never know if they can go ahead and become the Bengals of last year and have everyone surprised with what you can do. And seriously, like anyone's game in any other conference except for the AFC North, where we obviously believe that it's going to be the Bengals or the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, the AFC West, I think that the Chiefs could potentially be the worst team in the AFC West record-wise now that they gave away Tyreek Hill.
I personally believe that it's going to be the worst is going to be the Chargers. I still think that their offense needs to figure things out. I think that Justin Herbert needs more like real-time experience in these tough scenarios where Russell Wilson has the experience. All he needs to do is pass it to Judy. That defense is solid. Then you got Derek Carr. Obviously, we know all the experience he's got in all these tough scenarios because of all the close games he had last year. So I believe that with him adding Devontae Adams to that offense, I think that the Raiders will possibly be number one. You can't count out Kansas City because of the coaching there and because of Patrick Mahomes. Travis Kelce, the best, tight end. And adding Juju, you never know what can happen there. So 1 and 2 for me, and then you got Denver at 3.
Honestly, I think the Raiders could be the worst team in that division. Talent-wise, they're not up there with the rest of the teams. Their offense, yeah, they got Devontae Adams and they have Darren Waller, but they have Hunter Renfrow, sure, but their defense is not that good. Their defense was the main issue last season, and they didn't really upgrade that, in my opinion.
Don't forget about Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, but the problem with him is, can he stay healthy? Last year was a no.
I agree with Jake on that one, where I got the Raiders bottom of the division, and then I have the Chiefs third.
I agree, same. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers end up first. They revamped their roster entirely.
I truly believe they are going to be first. It's just a debate on if the Chargers or the Chiefs or the Broncos go second or third for me.
I think the Broncos have the best chance at going first right now just because they have more experience. But I could see the Chargers ending up second for sure.
I think the Chargers might slide to third too, or the Broncos.
Yeah, they could. Their defense is all right. I mean,
yeah, I want to see the Chiefs third though in that division, missing the playoffs for 1 year.
Yeah.
But see how difficult it is to see who's going to win in that division. For you to discredit and say the Chiefs are going to be in last place in that division, to me, I don't think I can hear that, man. Just because of that coaching, Patrick Mahomes, and you have the number one tight end. That's unbelievable. And their defense is solid, especially in that playoffs. So I personally can't see them in last place, especially with all the experience and a championship under their belt with almost the same team. So,
but that's the thing. I haven't seen Patrick Mahomes without Tyreek Hill yet. I think Tyreek Hill made Patrick Mahomes look great. Now he's just going to look good. That's my opinion.
He did, but at the same time, Patrick made Tyreek look great. I feel like with Juju there, you're able to get rid of a Tyreek Hill because you know that you're going to have Travis Kelce and you're going to have Juju and you're going to have to double one of them. You can't double both. One of them is going to be open. One of them is going to make a move, and they're both playmakers.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting for sure. That division's definitely, in my opinion, the best one in the NFL now.
I would watch every single one of those games because you got to play each other twice in that division. So it's going to be fun to watch every single game.
For sure, for sure. But Gio, you got a segment you got to do before we close out?
Yeah, real quick, I wanted to say thank you to Nike. They just reunited with Kobe and his family and the estate of his family, right? They just created a new contract, so I'm glad to see that, and I can't wait to see what they do with his signature shoes.
Video games, MLB The Show 22 is coming out in April. It's a fun game. Even if you don't like baseball like me, I still play it. It's fun. I definitely suggest that you get it. And yeah, that's about it.
Music, my boy Scory dropped a new song. I really enjoy it. He dropped it today, 2 hours ago. It's a great song. Check it out.
All right. Thank you for watching. Peace.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Come next week and make sure you guys subscribe and share with everyone. Peace.
Peace.